Your dog can hear frequencies up to 65,000 Hz, while you max out at a measly 20,000 Hz, which means they're literally hearing a whole symphony of sounds that you're completely oblivious to. So when your precious pup starts barking at what appears to be absolutely nothing at 3 a.m., they're actually responding to a complex audio landscape that makes your living room sound like Grand Central Station to their supersonic ears. Let's dive into the weird animal facts behind why dogs seem to lose their minds over invisible threats. Those amazing animals we call our best friends have evolved from wolves who survived by being hypervigilant about every sound, smell, and movement in their environment. Your couch potato golden retriever still carries those ancient survival instincts, which is why they treat the sound of a plastic bag rustling 3 houses away like it's announcing the apocalypse. These funny animal behaviors make perfect sense when you realize your dog is essentially a furry security system that never got the memo about modern life being relatively safe. The hilarious animal facts about dog hearing reveal that they can detect sounds from 4 times farther away than humans can. That nothing your dog is barking at could be your neighbor's cat walking across their roof, a delivery truck 6 blocks away, or even ultrasonic pest control devices that are completely silent to you, but sound like air raid sirens to your dog. These jaw-dropping wildlife info nuggets explain why your dog sometimes stares intensely at walls or corners. They're not seeing ghosts, they're hearing mice scratching inside the walls, or detecting vibrations from upstairs neighbors that your human senses completely miss. But here's where it gets really interesting with these animal kingdom surprises. Dogs don't just bark at external sounds, they also bark at their own internal experiences. Anxiety, boredom, and excitement can trigger barking episodes that seem to come from nowhere. Your dog might start barking because they remembered something exciting that happened yesterday, or because they're anticipating something that might happen later. These nature trivia facts show that dogs live in a much more complex emotional and sensory world than we often give them credit for. The age factor adds another layer to these wild animal moments. Senior dogs often develop canine dementia, which can cause them to bark at shadows, reflections, or memories that seem real to them but invisible to everyone else. Young puppies bark at their own shadows because they haven't figured out that the moving dark shape follows them everywhere. These animals you didn't know about include dogs who bark at ceiling fans because the moving blades create shifting light patterns that trigger their prey drive, making them think there's something alive up there worth investigating. Territorial barking is one of the most common reasons for seemingly random outbursts. Your dog considers your entire property their domain, and they're constantly monitoring for intruders. This includes delivery trucks, joggers, other dogs walking by, and even birds landing in your yard. These funny animal behaviors stem from thousands of years of breeding dogs to be our protectors and alarm systems. The problem is that modern dogs haven't updated their threat assessment protocols, so they treat the mail carrier like a daily invasion force. Social barking is another fascinating aspect of these amazing animals. Dogs bark to communicate with other dogs in the neighborhood, creating a complex network of canine conversation that humans can't fully understand. When one dog starts barking, it often triggers a chain reaction as other dogs join the conversation, sharing information about what they've seen, heard, or smelled. Your dog might be barking at nothing because they're actually participating in a neighborhood-wide discussion about the suspicious squirrel activity reported by the German Shepherd 3 streets over. Now for the solutions that actually work, because understanding why dogs bark is only half the battle. The key is figuring out what type of barking you're dealing with before you can address it effectively. Alert barking requires different strategies than anxiety barking or boredom barking. These animal fun facts about successful training show that dogs respond better to positive reinforcement than punishment. So screaming at your barking dog usually just adds your voice to the chaos rather than solving the problem. Environmental management is often the easiest first step. Closing curtains can eliminate visual triggers like passing pedestrians or cars. White noise machines can mask some of the sounds that set off your dog's alert system. Moving your dog's favorite lookout spot away from windows can reduce territorial barking incidents. These practical solutions work because they address the triggers rather than trying to suppress the natural behavior entirely. Training techniques that work include teaching the quiet command using positive reinforcement. Start by letting your dog bark a few times, then say quiet, and immediately reward them with treats when they stop barking, even if it's just for a few seconds. Gradually increase the duration before giving the reward. The speak command is counterintuitive, but effective. Teaching your dog to bark on command actually gives you more control over when they bark and when they don't. Exercise and mental stimulation are crucial for preventing boredom barking. A tired dog is generally a quieter dog, especially if they're mentally exhausted from puzzle toys, training sessions, or new experiences. These jaw-dropping wildlife info nuggets about dog psychology show that many behavioral problems, including excessive barking, stem from unmet physical and mental needs rather than disobedience or spite. Consistency is absolutely critical in any training program. Every family member needs to use the same commands and reward system because dogs get confused by mixed messages. If one person rewards barking behavior while another punishes it, you're essentially teaching your dog that barking is a lottery where sometimes they win and sometimes they lose, which actually reinforces the behavior you're trying to eliminate. Understanding the difference between normal alert barking and problematic excessive barking helps set realistic expectations. Some barking is natural and healthy. It's how dogs communicate and process their environment. The goal isn't to create a completely silent dog, but rather to have a dog who barks appropriately and stops when asked. These hilarious animal facts about successful dog training show that the best behaved dogs aren't necessarily the quietest ones, but the ones who have learned when barking is appropriate and when it's time to be quiet. Professional help might be necessary for severe cases, especially if the barking is related to separation anxiety, noise phobias, or other behavioral issues. Dog trainers and veterinary behaviorists can assess your specific situation and create customized training plans that address the root causes rather than just the symptoms. The relationship between you and your dog plays a huge role in barking behavior. Dogs who feel secure and confident in their relationship with their owners tend to bark less frantically because they trust their humans to handle potential threats. Building that trust through consistent training, regular exercise, and positive interactions creates a calmer, more balanced dog who doesn't feel the need to sound the alarm about every minor disturbance. What's the most ridiculous thing your dog has ever barked at? And did you ever figure out what they were actually hearing or seeing? Share your funniest barking stories in the comments below. If this video helped you understand your dog's mysterious barking habits, hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating insights into the weird and wonderful world of our four-legged friends. Share this with fellow dog owners who are tired of explaining to their neighbors that their dog isn't actually crazy, just incredibly well-informed about the secret life of the neighborhood.